Tell me what's going on. Can you take me there?
Good evening, WFA family and fans.
Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you all could join us on this lovely Sunday. I know it's been a couple weeks since our last get together, but I think we're gonna have a good show.
Every 2 weeks, we always seem to come back to this same bar.
Yeah.
The renovated WFA Happy Hour bar. We will say tonight a little lacking in the entertainment department because our trivia provider is sick or grounded.
Maybe grounded.
We don't know.
I think his mom might have told us he was grounded. He couldn't come play.
Trivia is canceled this evening, folks. Sorry about that. But glad everybody showed up tonight. Shout outs to Dave, Logan, Jack P, Ernest, Chad, Justin Reside, and Derek. How nice of you to join us.
I placed it at once, bro. No, but yeah, everyone pull up a stool, hang out. Hopefully we have a good show for you.
I think we've got a good few things in store. We expect this to be a quick happy hour, maybe a happy half hour, depending.
I mean, the thing is, time flies when you're having fun. So
that's true.
You know?
We're going to have some fun. We've got some good things in store. We got a few new segments. Won't spoil the fun for you, but we're going to bring one segment back as well with a little bit of a twist, and then talk a little bit about what's going on in the league the next couple weeks. So before we get started, Derek, anything new in your life in the last 2 weeks?
Well, as you can see in some of the mess behind me, my apartment got upended because I got brand new carpet, which is fantastic. But it involved me having to take apart everything in my apartment and move it out for a couple of days. So we're getting back to it. Obviously, the first thing was my setup, so I could get here to the bar in time.
Right.
You know, priorities. But outside of that, I'm living. Got a
Very
trip
good.
next weekend. How about you, Colin? What have you been up to, man?
I don't think there's anything new with me. Getting excited for the upcoming weekend. Getting excited to spend some time with friends and family.
I like it.
Over a long weekend, so it's going to be good. So nothing too exciting for me. We will say there was some exciting news in WFA today. I mean, Prowl scoring. Did you score 40 points? Did you cap out at 37? Last time I checked, you had 37.
I think it ended at 37. I think it was a total of 60 for the game. So I think we hit the over, which is nice.
There was 54 points at halftime. I think I saw that in the chat.
We slowed down. It slowed down. Defense just picked it up.
Wow, Prowl's looking
good.
Excited.
We're excited. Like I said, just actually got, again, like 2 weeks ago, just got off the plane from Iowa. Corn King's gracious hosts. Had a couple of dogs and some corn on the cob at the stadium. Now I'm here.
Love it. Was it Mexican street corn? Did they have their own variation? Was it just plain old corn? Like
Iowa?
just salt?
Roasted. Just corn
salt.
on the cob. Butter.
I'm sure it was delicious. I'm sure
fantastic.
It was good.
Picked right off the stock. They got the freshest. Freshest in the WFA.
Well, I think we've given everybody time to grab their drinks for happy hour. Before we get into the segments, I think we've got a couple big headliners, Derek. What do you think?
Yeah, we do. We got some headlines. We do. There's a few, and definitely a few to take note of. A few headlines in the WFA news.
Well, you ready for them?
Well, let's go for it.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Vermont Drama Moose. So this isn't in any way referencing of Jack P being a drama queen or anything like that. That's for real a joke. The reason this headline's here is because many consider the Bull Moose to be one of the top teams in the league. And if you look back at their 4 weeks of play so far, 3 of the games have been decided by 3 points or less. So for a top team to have such close games, he must be a big fan of end of the game drama.
That's pretty wild. That's a good stat you got there. I'm surprised because, like you said, this is one of the better teams out the gate, and would expect maybe a little bit of a bigger point differential. But here we are, within 3 points last couple games. That's wild. Definitely drama seeking. You're right. You're right.
Chicago, the not so friendly Ghosts. This headline's to show a little love to the Ghosts who kind of, run their own hashtag Ghosts Suck, but not this week. This week they showed up and showed out in dominating fashion. They were not the friendliest Ghosts in week 4.
These Ghosts don't sneak up on you and scare you. These Ghosts get in your face and smack at booty all the way home. That was a dominating victory over the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Beat him down. Flying high in Pottsville. I think it goes to say Pottsville last time we met, you put them at the top of the power rankings, and they're still flying high. They again win again this week. 4-0 is what they're sitting, and again, dominating fashion. I think they beat another undefeated team today badly. 36-8, I think, is what it ended. So just on cloud 9, high as a kite in Pottsville.
The most interesting thing about Pottsville to me is their run game is so hard to stop. Mark had over 200 yards rushing in the game this week. I mean, we've heard people talk about how difficult it is to get the run game going with the way the season's set up and the playbooks are set up, but Pottsville's not having any trouble. No. He's averaging probably, I don't know what the stats are, but I would say at least 130 yards a game right now.
Oh, absolutely. They're rolling.
That's a difference maker, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you control the clock, you control the game. And on top of that, I'd say as impressive, if not more, is their defense. Their defense has been dominating, hard-hitting, and don't let up a lot of points at all.
That's true, too. Then we got one more headline.
WFA out of order. If you don't know yet, after week 4, there is a bye week coming up. A lot of things in the office of the WFA that need to be taken care of. Really trying to get stats caught back up. I'll let the commissioner speak a little bit more on it. But yeah, that's what it's there for.
Yeah, Derek pretty much said it. We are going to be taking a break for several different reasons, a 1 week break. Biggest reason is so that we can catch the stats up because we need those. We use them a lot. Teams are going to want to start looking at them when it comes to looking at progression, regression. We're going to need it for content moving forward. It'll be super useful in game of the week when we're working on pre-game conversations. So the stats are important. We want to get those up to date. If anybody would like to help with that, reach out to me or the Corn King, and we'll get you in a group where we're going to have a lot of hands on deck this next week, trying to get all that caught up. Second reason is because there's going to be a couple of the main streamers going to be out of town for a long weekend, and we don't want to try to fit all those games in on Monday or Tuesday. So just better to take a break for now. We've got something fun in store that we think will be entertaining for the following week to kick off week 5. We'll talk about that a little bit later here in Happy Hour.
Got it. I like it.
Derek, let's head over to the other scene. Yep. Those are the headlines. It's been an exciting last couple weeks.
It has.
And now we're into divisional playing our first divisional opponents. Derek, do you feel like there's a difference in kind of like the atmosphere when it comes to that? Because I'm not an owner anymore.
But I mean, if you look back to it, I think you can agree, and I think everyone can agree. There is a little bit more tension, if you will. The guys just wanted a little bit more. These are the opponents not saying you don't prepare your best for every opponent, but maybe you stay up a little later. You scout a little longer than you would for non-divisional, because this can get you into play. Like, you win the division, getting your playoffs right there. Like, this is your ticket instead of having to go through a wild card or something like that. Division games just mean more.
You're exactly right. They mean more. I'm excited about it. I think what we have coming up in the next week will be exciting to get the divisional rivalries going a little bit, make it a little bit more fun to watch. But yeah, excited about the divisional opponents. Let's go ahead and head over to the next screen, Derek.
Oh, fancy seeing you at this end of the bar.
Oh yeah, I like to scoot over to this side. We're closer to the shuffleboard table, but but before we do a little bit of gaming, let's have a little conversation. Last week we started off with a top shelf drink, right? We did. It was delicious. Really enjoyed that drink, sharing that drink with you, talking to those owners on the top shelf. Some have fallen off, some have remained, yourself included.
I wasn't there last time. I just got up there.
Oh, you were working your way up.
I was. But I think it goes to show that things change, and sometimes week to week, you don't always have the budget for the top shelf.
No, you don't. What do you?
That's not a bad thing. Other things need love too.
Because there's some things that you can get. You can get a big value sometimes with these well drinks, and was it champagne taste on a beer budget? And so sometimes you have to go back to the well. Isn't there a beer called the Champagne of beers?
No, that is Miller High Life. I wouldn't say these teams are living the high life right now. Kind of the low life, being at the bottom of the shelf.
Well, we reached out to these teams on the bottom shelf at the end of the power rankings, and we asked them a couple questions. We got some responses back, and we want to go over that. We want to give this an opportunity for those at the bottom to speak about how it feels and to kind of try to lift them up a little bit, give them some motivation to push out of the well and move forward up the shelf. But Derek, the two questions that I sent them this weekend, one was, despite your rough start, what bright spots do you see on your team, and what's your plan / timeline to get things turned around? Let's start with that one question. We asked two. That was the first question. I got 4 responses. First response is from Lancers GM Scott Stover. Scott says, I think we have a good front 7 on defense, and on offense, we can score points. I think season 11 will be the turnaround. What do you think?
Already move. I mean, I hate to see that we're kind of already cashing it in. Not saying they're not going to try, but I already hate. Like, I was hoping maybe by season end we might get a late playoff push. But I know what Scott's saying there. They have the pieces. They've been in some games. They've been in pretty much all their games. They've been competitive. Probably a lot more competitive than a lot of the league thought they were going to be. So, yeah, maybe it is this season. It's a rebuild. Season 11's the eye on the prize there.
He's been competitive, but he hasn't won games. And I know that nobody is more frustrated about that than Scott. But if you would have asked me at the beginning of the season who's my dark horse, it probably would have been the Lancers. But I'm glad we didn't have that conversation because I'd be eating my words right now. But let's go ahead and see someone else's response. This comes from the owner of the Indiana Lynx, Mr. Ryder. He says, despite the rough start, I can say that the defense is ready to win. So if through the offseason we can get the offense going, we should be good for season 11. Defense have given up under 20 points week 2 and 3. Week 1, 37 points, but that was against Pottsville with a pick 6 or 2 in there, so it's not all the defense's fault in week 1. Seems like some blame placing, but What do you think?
Blame placing or recognition of your weaknesses, because it is, that's where you have to start. It's good to be self-aware, trying to determine where you need to improve. It sounds like Ryder knows he needs to score more points, because a wise man, once told me, all you have to do is score more points in the game and you'll win. So
You ain't wrong.
I think he knows what he needs to do.
You ain't wrong. Both owners from the Spiders have come together for a uniform response to question 1. The Spiders say our defense has kept us in a lot of games and made a lot of important stops to give us a chance to win. This past week was an outlier for us. The game got away from us. We had chances late in the fourth quarter to beat Myrtle Beach and Miami in weeks 1 and 3, and they're 2 of the better teams in the league.
I mean, again, I think these teams so far have done well with the self-diagnosis. You can tell they are not just accepting being at the bottom. They're actively looking to improve. You can see that in the trade block and the transactions. Some of them have tried to make some changes mid-season to turn the ship a little. But with the Spiders, it sounds like they're both on the same page. They're both kind of know what direction they want to head in, and I think that's what you got to do to improve.
Spiders have had a super tough schedule out the gate in season 10, and I think they're going to be just fine. I like the Spiders. I think they'll be fine. One last response on that first question comes from...
I know who this comes from.
Owner of the Wolfpack, Mr. Jake. He messaged me just before we started the show tonight. Wasn't sure if I was going to get an answer from him, but he says, the defense has shown some great flashes, and we have made some great plays. And then in parentheses says, rookie Rufus McCooter pick 6. So sounds like Jake thinks if the defense can strengthen up a little bit, they're going to be fine.
Yep.
So,
all right. I know he is frustrated. They have done some wholesale trades, maybe not some that I would have done. I think you need some continuity, and they've, for a couple of weeks, out of the 4 weeks we played, had some large-scale trades. So, again, maybe not the direction I'd be taking it, because I don't think it's kind of hard to build off something when everything you're building off of you're getting given away or getting rid of. But Jake's been around for a long time. Him and his coaching staff, I think, can put it together. It just might be a little rough.
Jake and his coaching staff, I'm just surprised by this answer. To me, they have always been an offensively minded team. It's always been... They've never seemed to worry about defense, because who cares about defense when you put up 50 points a game?
Yeah.
So we haven't seen the same high-power, explosive offense from Green Bay like we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
But
there could be a lot to be said about, I think this goes to show with the way that play calling and book preparation has changed for this season, it has been a major equalizer. I think those who have adapted quickly, it shows, and those who maybe whose identity depended on how they built their book previously, it's a little harder transition.
That's a great point, and that's a good analysis. I agree with you 100%. This second question, last question to the bottom shelfers, should go by fairly quickly. The question reads, realistically, what do you predict your season 10 record to be?
Okay.
And asking these owners what they predict they will be, Scott Stover of GM of the Lancers says, at this point, I'd be happy with 4 to 5 wins. We are on week 4 right now, out of 12. How realistic do you think that is, Derek?
Can you remind me what their current...
They haven't won a game.
They haven't won a game.
No wins.
Without having their schedule in front of me, with just how close they have come in many of their games and how they have battled, because they haven't laid down for any of theirs. The Lancers have battled. I could see 4 or 5. I think that's realistic. I think they could get a few.
I think if they get 4 wins, it's a victory.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be tough. But yeah, I would be happy with 4 wins, Scott. I think that should be your goal. I think you should stick to it. Try some new things in the playbook, and just try to get a couple wins here and there when you can. Ryder from Indiana says, I think 1 to 3 wins is the goal for the Lynx because of the division struggling and our defense being the strongest part of the team, aka offense is not producing. I'm thinking we might get 1 to 3 wins. Derek?
Again, I think it's realistic. I think it's shooting for a goal that is attainable. The Lynx are in a tough division. So I think 1 to 3 is good. I personally, you never want to have a 1-win season, so I would definitely be shooting for the higher end, like the 3. But I think Ryder and the Lynx are being realistic there.
2 wins would be an improvement in my book. We gotta see improvement from the Lynx. I'm really hoping I see them get 2 wins, Derek. Spiders say their goal is to finish at 500. That would mean going 5-3 the rest of the way. The Spiders have had an 8-point differential. We are a little below average so far, which is a significant improvement from last season. That is a true statement. The Spiders are better. Even if their record doesn't show it right now, the Spiders are competing, and I think everybody who plays them knows it's not a gimme game.
No, not anymore. Not like last season. Trust me, they're see you in 2 weeks. I know where it's at on my schedule.
What do you think about going 5-3 from here on out, Derek?
Well, it's hard for me to say right now. Again, I don't have their schedule in front of me. Got too excited to get to the bar and forgot some of the stuff at the house.
You forgot your schedule for the Spiders before you went to the bar? Yeah, shame on you.
All the prep work, usually try and come to this bar, with everything in order. But,
I can see if I can find it for you if you'd like, if that would be helpful.
We know they're playing teams well, and you talked about how much you like the Spiders. 5-3 might be a little high, but I like shooting for the fences, so go for it. Get to 500. Because they have They have a win on there. They already have a win, don't they?
They have 1 win. Gosh, they have such a tough schedule, Derek. They have such a tough schedule. They are getting hammered. Steamers, Corn Kings, Prow, Boston, Vermont, New Jersey, and then again, divisional opponents, Louisiana, Corn Kings, Prow. Wow. That's brutal.
Yeah. I'd be having some conversations with the schedule makers if I'm them. Because, man.
That is such a nasty schedule.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if that's going to get accomplished. I think if they had even just the average schedule, they could do it. But that's awful. That's the worst schedule I've ever seen.
Most of the teams they face have 1 or less losses so far this season.
Wow.
That's rough.
Now, let's finish this segment out with what Jake has to say about where he thinks the Wolfpack will finish. In Sims, we've shown we are a good team and that we can legitimately compete, but so far, APF has given us some tough Sims. I think this team could drop 8 straight wins, but at the same time, APF could hand us 8 straight losses. Anything's possible with this Wolfpack squad. Sounds like he's unsure.
I don't know if I like blaming the world. Like, it's good to know that you're practicing hard and what you're seeing in practice you're liking, but to come out and say the world's against you, that's the reason why we can't make it happen. I don't know. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head when you talked about their first question. I don't know if their mindset or their mind is in the right place where the usual Wolfpack is. They just seem to be all discombobulated right now.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that was a good cheap drink, Derek.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I like to do after I have a couple cheap drinks?
Get beat.
I like to play shuffleboard. Let's go to the shuffleboard table.
Come on over.
All right. Let's see if we can find this shuffleboard table. Derek, this is going to be fun. Last time we played darts.
Yeah. This
Last
bar
time
just has a little bit of everything, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Last time we played darts, we are going to play shuffleboard here. I've got a random wheel. We're going to spin 6 different times for 3 pucks apiece. So, do you want the first puck?
Throws?
Yeah. Do you want the first puck? All right. Your first puck is going to be. It is the Green Bay Wolfpack.
Oh hell! I just threw it over in the corner off the board, not even on it.
Let me see if I can find him. See if I can find him here. Wolfpack. I will see if I can blow this up. Uh-oh. Hold, please. Let's see. Is it there?
I don't see anything.
Okay. There it is.
Ah, there it is.
Okay.
In all
There's
actuality,
one puck.
Oh, yeah. So
We'll go ahead and line them up first. Is that cool with you?
that's fine. That's fine.
We'll get them all lined up here. Okay, the next one is the Jamaica Hummingbirds. I'm going to go ahead and find them while I spin again for you. Jamaica. That is the tiniest logo. Look at that. There we go.
They were monstrous.
All right.
Oh, was that yours? Are we alternating?
That one's mine. Yeah, that one's mine.
Oh.
Your next one, you lucky son of a gun, is the Pottsville Maroons. Okay. I am going to get the Long Beach Rays.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
We could
class.
talk about that team. We haven't talked about them.
Yeah, we
much.
haven't discussed them much at all. That'll be good.
New Jersey Mustangs is your last one.
Okay.
And then mine. Mine's Santa Fe.
Oh.
Gosh. All right. There's the prow. All right. You can throw these in any order you would like.
Well, I have
I'm
to
gonna
break
give
down
you
right now. I'm starting
first
out.
throw.
First throw, Wolfpack. We both played
Okay.
shuffleboard quite a bit. That first throw for me, it's that trying to feel your rhythm, trying to find your stride here, and I think that describes the Wolfpack perfectly. So what I'm going to do is that goes right off the side of the board next to the 2. Good intentions of landing it, and just falls off. I'm still trying to find it. It's not hitting anything.
That's fair.
Much like the Wolfpack hasn't won, and it was my first throw. I'm just trying to get my rhythm down here.
That's fair. I'm starting with Jamaica. I am nervous playing shuffleboard. It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since I've played. I haven't had any reps in. And if I'm Jamaica here coming into the season, I'm looking like I'm going to go good. And then I fall way short right here. Not even to the 1 point line. That's where Jamaica's at right now. Jamaica needs to produce like Jamaica usually is known for producing. And we're not seeing it right now. So that's where Jamaica falls in my mind.
I like it. Well, I'm obviously... I felt out the board. I'm going for Pottsville here to throw it down the lane. And it's simply butter here. Skids right by Jamaica. Dead center of the 3. Secured, perfect shot. Just dead center of this board. No denying that this
of course
is a
it is.
point. It's the fact is they've beat everyone they've come up against, and they've secured themselves a top spot. There's no denying it, sitting dead center.
Here's what we're going to see from my second shot with the Rays. I don't know if I can even do this here, but I'm going to try. The Rays, they're coming in nobody really thought much about him moving from Detroit to California, but something about that Cali water's really doing it for him, I think. I think they're competing. What we're going to see here on this throw is we're going to see them bump up against Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
Jamaica falling off the board, and the Rays coming down just past the 2. Getting 2 points, knocking off one of yours for a net of 3.
Knocking off your own. Oh, knocking off one of my points. Got it.
Well, I guess it is my point, but yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You're right.
Obviously, I have my last one. I'm hoping for big time stuff here. I got the Rays, and your puck sitting there in my line sight. I toss it, and it's rolling good, but then it just dies. Kind of starts to cross into the 2 line, but the majority of the puck is still in 1.
Ooh.
Sits there for 1 point. Simply the fact of came out hot. Really thought we were going to make it. Last 2 weeks, the Mustangs have just fallen off. You know, they started out good. I still think they have potential, but just can't. They're just not over the hump. Just falling short of that 2 line right there.
I have a lot of expectations for Bill and Guy. I think they're doing a great job in New Jersey, but yeah, want to see more from them. And then we've got the final puck, the prow. Derek, what do you think's going to happen here, huh?
I don't know if it knocks anyone off, but I know where it should land.
I'm going to tell you one thing about Santa Fe. Santa Fe is strategic. They are putting in the work here, and they're not just going to start right up the middle. No, that'd be silly. There's too many teams in the way. They're going to come off to the side before they start. They're going to come in. What happens in shuffleboard is when you ride the line, it starts curving in towards the middle, doesn't it, Derek?
It does a little bit. It
starts coming right here past. It's making good speed. It's going to bump right up against the boomer. It's going to bump up against the boomer. There. But what's going to happen? Boomer's going to go. We don't know what's going to happen yet, Derek. All I know is that if it comes down to the Maroons and Santa Fe, that's a game I want to watch. I don't know if you're going to. I don't know if you're going to knock them off or not yet because nobody's been close.
Yeah.
But the Prow's showing that they have it in them.
We have some tools. We have some big time plays out of rookie tight end today. Ryan Roosevelt, obviously a wide receiver, solid player. That's good.
Yeah. So that was fun. Shuffleboard was fun.
I like it.
That was a good time.
And you technically won right there. So
did I win by 1 point?
Yeah, 1 point.
Well, I hate that I had to win.
Yeah, no, it happens that way. There's always next round, you know?
It's always winners and losers.
We'll just,
all right.
On this game roulette part of Happy Hour, don't worry, I'll make you the next thing. Maybe they have, like, checkers or something at the bar.
That
Pinball.
Was shuffleboard. We are going to do next a rendition of mascot matchup. Well, let's pick 3 teams here, and we won't do much more than that. But we are going to randomly select a team with the wheel, and then we are going to talk about who would win in a mascot matchup, and does that correlate with our opinions of next week's game. So
okay. So we're going to see if not only would their mascot beat their upcoming opponent's mascot, but does that mean anything for their game? I like it.
Exactly.
I like
exactly. It. So we are going to first talk about the Steel Hogs, and let's go ahead and pull this up here. The Steel Hogs play at home against the Chicago Ghosts. So how does a Steel Hog hold up against a Ghost?
Still unsure about what a Steel Hog actually is. But I think the Ghosts have the advantage here mascot-wise. Fact of the matter is, if Steel Hog charges with those tusks, it's going to go right through them. I don't think they're equipped to take on a Ghost.
The Ghosts are tricky when it comes to mascot matchup. I think they were in the last one we did.
Yeah, they were.
It is tough. I think I would have to agree that Ghost would win in a mascot matchup, but when it comes to my prediction for week 5, I think I'm going to go with Memphis.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And see, I think Memphis is a good team, but I'm saying not only the mascot win, but I think Chicago rides the high of this week and takes it into week 5.
Okay, that's
Upset
respectable.
Steel Hog.
That's respectable. All right, let's go ahead and get our second matchup on the table here.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to start talking about some kings of corn. Who do they play here? What do we got?
The Spiders.
Spiders. There's a game here where the Spiders are going to have a lot of desire to win this.
Okay, so I guess the real question, mascot-wise, do you think the Corn King is a man who wears like a crown of corn, or is he like a corn humanoid?
I think he's a corn humanoid. I think he's made of corn.
Okay, so like a man made of corn.
I think so.
Well, I think, you know what? We're gonna just got back. I know the Corn Kings are kind of going back to the drawing board. Maybe looking to go back to some air corn offense, as Zach put it. But I think they get bit by the spider here, and unlucky for them, they don't get powers like Spider-Man. They just go down.
Wow. I think unless there's some sort of pesticide put down by the Corn King, spiders take over easily with a mascot matchup. But when it comes to the team versus team, the actual game, I think this is going to be a really close one. I wouldn't be surprised, Derek, if we see an overtime game here.
I can see it.
I think Zach is trying to dial in a couple things on offense. And he obviously was not happy with what he had against you today. Yeah. So how does he respond to that? I think depending on how aggressive he is with that change could be the difference maker in the opportunity for the Spiders.
Yep, I like it. Again, yeah. I think you're right. This game could go either way. So I think Spiders take it mascot-wise. Maybe the Corn Kings take it game on the field. I like it.
Yep. All right, and then we've got one more matchup to talk about. This is going to be Indiana and the Lynx. They face the Green Bay Wolfpack.
So, someone gets a win. Someone gets a win.
You're right.
Mascot-wise, Wolfpack dominates. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I agree.
They're
little.
It's a tiny, small cat.
Yeah, they're little.
Probably defecate all over itself when surrounded by a giant pack of wolves, who are often bigger than most people give them credit for. So, Wolf mascot takes this wholeheartedly.
Yep, I agree. And I think Green Bay also gets their first win of the season here.
If between the two, I think you're right with that one as well.
I think so.
We go Wolfpack on the field.
That was mascot matchup. I'm not sure if you paid attention to the middle graphic there.
Colin, I pay attention to everything you do, so of course I saw it.
That's so sweet of you. Well, we're going to talk about something that we think will be entertaining and will be worth the wait in this dead week into week 5, and that's going to be a color rush with the uniforms. Ooh. Derek, what do you think?
I'm pumped. I'm in the lab, have some ideas. I need to get my best graphic artists on there and get something produced. But we've talked about my plan, and I'm excited to see what this league comes up with, because I know we got some creative guys here. So I'm pumped to see what these specialty uniforms that come out after the break. I think we're going to see some cool stuff.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. Everybody loves Color Rush Week in college football and all that. So I think that this will be a fun little thing for us to do. I've reached out and asked a couple teams that have similar colors to not pick the same color. Specifically, one that I can think of is I messaged the Crabs and the Nightmares and said, please don't let a bunch of pink little ladies run around the field all game.
What a game that would be. Oh my gosh. That would be a bright game.
So if you know who you're playing and you know you have a color in common, please just message that owner and make sure you're not planning on using the same colors. But there's no other rules. So you can do whatever you want to do.
So you can go light colored if you're the home team, even though the away home doesn't count. That's good to know.
Yep, you can do. There's no white jersey rule for Color Rush Week, so
like it.
You can do whatever you want to do.
While we're on it, because I know you said I think you've seen some. Where do people, if they go back and watch this, submit their unis to? How do they?
All of the uniform submissions go straight to Joel.
Do they put in a ticket or do they send it to him directly?
You can put in a ticket if you'd like. That's definitely the formal way to do it. If you have befriended Joel on Discord, just shoot him a DM. That'll work just as well.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
So
I want to make sure everyone was on the same page.
Either way, just make sure you get confirmation. If you submit a ticket, you'll definitely get confirmation. But we would assume through a DM you get confirmation as well. But just get confirmation that you. Just send them your code, take a screenshot of your code, send it in, and then Joel's really good about plugging that in, turning on the game, and making sure that is the uniform you wanted to have. So he'll run it back to you and let you double check it. But you're right. We've got a couple uniforms here. We wanted to give a sneak peek to those here at Happy Hour. Let's go ahead and switch over. The shuffleboard table.
Oh, my God. Welcome back. I want round 2.
Let's get rid of this shuffleboard table. That's not where we wanted to go. I am lost.
The dressing room we keep here in the bar,
Okay, here we are. Let's see. Boom. All right. The first sneak peek we have, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
You know who that is?
Ooh. I'm seeing some red. I'm seeing some blue. Well, his helmet's turned from me, so I can't directly see who this is.
I'll tell you who that is, and I don't know if the stars on the side give any hint to you.
Oh, that does help. I didn't see the stars. Maybe because of my sunglasses. Is that the Federals there?
That's going to be the Federals rocking the blue, which I think is a good move.
It is a drastic difference, and I like it. And that's what Color Rush is about. I want to see something different.
So I really like it. Think it'll be cool. I know Nolan was tossing around a couple ideas, one of which was a Cole tribute uniform, but I think blue's the good move here. I like
play off that red, white, and blue, and I think he hit it out of the park.
Yeah, like it. Next up here, you know who that is?
Oh,
you know that color?
Yeah, I do.
It's one of two teams.
That is. I can see that through my sunglasses there. That is. Oh, my.
Burn your retina.
That Mustang's right.
That's the Mustang. That's New Jersey.
You're going to see him coming.
Yeah, Guy Clausen sent me a little snapshot here of the New Jersey Mustangs, all highlighter green uniforms for this game. So, looks pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Another one here. This is one I absolutely love. There's just something so unique about it. This is the Calgary Crash.
I do. I don't think that's the direction most people would have taken his color scheme. And I know, and Ernest, Ernest has got some style and a way to see things a way other people don't. And I like it. Given that really San Francisco 49er type vibe that I'm getting. But I like him pushing that old gold bronze, as the prominent color.
Yeah, it's a really cool uniform. Can't wait to see it on game day. How about this one?
The Vermont Blue Moose, huh?
That is what that is. That is the Vermont Blue Moose.
Yeah, I like
ignore
it.
Ignore the white on the right. They're going to be rocking the all blues. Vermont, Jack P., owner of Vermont Blue Moose, has been really looking for a reason to use this uniform, and now he's got it in Color Rush.
Got it. I like it. It looks good.
Two more. This one's going to burn your eyes. Make sure you got your sunglasses on.
I always do. That is a bright uni there, and not from a team I was anticipating it to be from.
That is not the Washington Wastelanders.
No.
That is the Boston Whales using their tertiary color in their logo, which is new this season. And I really like it.
Who's Boston playing? They're not playing the Wastelanders, are they? Our viewers might go blind if that's the matchup.
I don't know who they're playing.
Oh my!
But yeah, it's
going to be bright. It's going to be seen.
Is a spicy uniform.
I like
and
it,
the last one we want to give you a sneak peek of isn't one you'd expect.
Me? No. That looks like, what is that? The Cavalry, is from what I can tell. And yeah, not the color palette I thought. But again, that's what Color Rush is about. You get to bring something a little new to the table, maybe some sneak peeks of some directions that teams might be looking to make a change, maybe some rebrands in the future. But it looks clean. It looks good.
It is clean. I'm not sure why the reasoning, but I'm sure there's a good reason behind it. But yeah, Color Rush week should be fun. That starts after this dead week when we get stats caught up. But yeah, let's go ahead and cut back to the menu. Derek, that pretty much wraps it up for happy hour, and that was more than a half hour. It's been 50 minutes so far.
Sometimes you just lose track of time, and it still ends up being a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. Always have a good time with you, buddy.
Oh, yeah, me, same, ditto. I don't know what I was going to say there.
Me, same. Me.
Sorry, I had a lot to drink at the game. Just a little,
Well, I don't have anything else on the docket for this evening. Do you have any final remarks?
Not at all. Can't wait to see what everyone comes up with for Color Rush Week. If you have some writer's block, I know there's plenty of guys in the chat who've been offering to lend assistance. Take them up on it. But yeah, excited to see what everyone comes up with. It'll be a nice break. As much as I hate that I have to wait an additional week to see the Proud take the field again, it'll be a nice break for my heart. But yeah, and you know what? By the time the games come back, guess what? Also come back? Happy hour. Crazy how that works.
That's right. We come back every other week. Who knows what game we'll play next? We had a suggestion in the comments that we play Cornhole next time.
Ooh, I don't hate it.
That could be fun. But we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what the bar has in the back room.
I like it.
But yeah, don't forget to send in your suggestions to the email. I left that out for now. Or just DM them to me if that's easier. But Derek, it's going to be 2 weeks until we come back. A lot could happen, but we always come back to this bar to talk about it, don't we?
Yep. Hope to see you all here next, in 2 weeks. I was going to say next week. I'm all right. Sorry, been drinking.
Derek's excited to get back. He wants to get back next week. We're going to hold on that. We're going to be partying elsewhere at a different bar. But trust me, we'll tell you all about it in 2 weeks.
Yep.
But for now, this has been Colin and Derek. It's been a wonderful happy hour. We'll see you next time.
Yep. Take it easy, everyone.